up, y'all? It's your girl Tae Marie, and I'm back on this thing. Okay, do y'all see me? I got my whole little setup. Welcome to my room. Welcome to my room. Okay, it's a little basic in here. Calm down on you. Calm down on me. Okay. But this is my humble abode for now. And I'm so excited because I've been wanting to move this into the house so I can really like get into it. I got my laptop here so we can really look into what we talking about and just take soul food to another level. You feel me? Because it's December. It's 2026 coming up and we about to get into it. We about to start talking about what really matters, okay? For the next 4 weeks, the next month, along with my vlog, y'all gonna see different things and behind the scenes I've been trying to get this together, really having something meaningful to talk about. And here we are, y'all, December, and the episode is called Your Legacy. Okay, we about to get into that, okay? Okay, so before we get really into it, I just want to say what legacy is to me. And legacy is truly investing into your family. I'm talking about investing in your kids, investing in the future, bringing that whole conversation of it takes a village, you know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, I seen my grandparents invest in my cousins, you know, like I may not have seen the groundwork, you know, our parents seen that groundwork of them getting into real estate and them learning and being financially knowledgeable about certain things that, you know, still live on today. So, you know, I just want to basically just talk about that. And the first question that I have is, what legacy do you want to leave behind? And what I put down was a family home and some land, because I just imagine like a compound. Like ever since I found out what a compound is, I've been obsessed. Okay, like I want to buy land. I want to build a home on that land that is belonging to me and my child. And I see my mother being on that land, and maybe even my father, you know, just making somewhere where family that knows about it can always turn to. If there ever is a situation, if there ever is a crisis, there's a place for our family to always come back to and build themselves back up. So that's what I want to leave for my family. Ooh, I'm loving that I have my laptop with me. So when I did my Bible study this week, the story that I got was First Chronicles 6, verse 25. It's a verse about the descendants of Elkanah. Hold on, didn't we speak about Elkanah when we was talking about the book of Samuel? Yeah, shout out to him. Yes, okay. The descendants of Elkanah, who were Levinite, and the father of the prophet Samuel. Okay, so yeah. Okay, I felt like I knew that name. So, you know, the verse serves to trace the lineage of the Kohathites. Ooh, y'all better rip me up. I don't know. Who were responsible for the sanctuary's most sacred objects, and to demonstrate God's faithfulness in preserving the priestly line, which was crucial for the nation's religious, I want to say continue, but that's not what that says. Continuity. Okay. Sorry that I ate that up like that. But, okay, so yeah, that's where the whole conversation of legacy comes from, and from what because in that verse, in that chapter, it was naming off a lot of people, like, this was this person's father and this was their son. And it was pretty much showing, like, the actions that they were doing and how it rippled into the next generation, pretty much. And when I think about my son, because his picture is right here, I want my son to be a good young man. Like, anybody can say that about their son or their kids, but I truly want my son to understand what it means and about having values and principles, and to know what is right from wrong. Even when he talks to me about God, like, I sit there and I let him know, like, God is with you on them good days, and God is with you even on bad days. Even when you feel like, why, God? And yes, I talk to my son like this, man. I'm talking to him like, I talk to him ever since he was a baby, like the boy can talk back to me. And I tell him, like, yeah, even when you feel like there's no hope, that you feel like there's nobody to help you, you're sad, you're mad, whatever, God is still there. And he was like, God is still there, God is still there. And I want him to understand that. So when he goes through bad things, he prays. When he needs to tell me about something, he knows who to run to versus running to something else or getting trapped out here or whatever. Like, I want my son to understand what it means to go to God. And even with his money, like, right now I'm teaching him about saving his money. Like, he was just on the phone with my cousin, which he calls his auntie, but he was just on the phone with her, and he was like, TT, I've been saving my money. And she was like, for real? He was like, yeah, let me count it for you. So we counted it out, and she was like, I am so proud of you for saving all that money. And he like, yeah. He was like, I'm gonna keep saving my money. So when he gets some money, he ain't thinking about already running to spend it. He ain't thinking about that, you know what I'm saying? Or breaking his bank. I don't want my son to grow up and idolize material things, because material things not gonna do nothing for you. Just like when he broke his toy, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, it's okay, we'll just buy another one. I was like, we could buy another one, but why would we go buy something that you already got? You need to take care of it. Nobody's going to keep on buying you things, even though people doing it right now. But when you really have something valuable, like a car, you crash that thing, you're going to have to stack up bread to get you another car. I'm not about to keep on spending money because you broke something. Oh, I could get another one. No, you can't. I mean, you can, but it's going to take work. Versus right now, we stacking up so you can already have it, take care of it, know what to do with it when you have it. Like right now, saving money, him practicing saving dollars that I could give him. If I go Uber and I got some tips, sometimes I give it to him. And I'm like, okay, let's put it in your bank. Now how much money do you have? And he's seeing that, wow, I went from having $40, now I got $50. Look at that. Keep on saving your money. So when the things that I'm doing now, like, and for parents that don't have this for their child, do this for your child. I invested in my son by putting money away in a growth account or a CD. You know what I'm saying? A CD. Y'all know what I'm talking about a CD account that grows every so often. You know what I'm saying? And my goal is to either present it to him when he's 18 or when he's 21, wherever I feel like he's more ready to hear. Because by the time then, he'll have money. Like, he gonna have some money. Okay? So, and I'm going to tell them, just like when I graduated from high school and my grandparents presented me with $200. I mean, not $2,000 to go get me a car, to pay for college, to pay for my first apartment. They did that for me. They had that stacked away for each one of us. Each, for me, my cousins, when they graduated, we all got money. And we all made a decision on what we was going to do with that money, how we were going to invest in ourselves. Me, I needed a car, so that's how I got my first Cavalier. Blue was my baby. I'm telling you, when I first got that car, you couldn't tell me nothing. But I was so happy because, I used to ride the bus. I used to walk. Sometimes if I missed the bus and I was going to be late, and I felt that for a minute. I felt that. And, my family would tell me, like, Taylor, you got to keep pushing through. You got to keep pushing through until you get to your goal. And when I finally got to my goal, or when I finally found a car and took the time, took my mother out, we talked to the guy, tried it out, took it to a mechanic, everything. Surprisingly, she had the money already ready. She had it, so I just want to be able to do that and to let my son see that, and my future kids, if I have more, I want them to see that so they can understand, like, hard work is going to get me somewhere. Having a family, having a village that helps me out, that cares about my well-being, cares enough to already plan out my future, already listening and making sure that I was on the right path, the best thing you could ever do in this life, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you got kids, I feel like that's very important because, and some people be thinking, like, why is that important? I ain't had no car, but it's just like, you gotta think about that. Now, I'm not saying when I buy my son a car in the future, it's gonna be a 2035. It's not gonna be a 2035. By the time what? Okay, he'll be 15 in 2035. So yeah, it's gonna be probably a 2025. What he see out right now, he gonna get. Okay, my first car was a 2002. And we was in 2014 when I got that car. So yeah. He gonna get something a little throwback. But if he stack up his money and he got that deposit and all that other stuff, down payment, or pay it out, more power to him, because that's what I'm talking about. And he gonna have to be responsible for that. But, my gift to him is definitely gonna be like that, laid out for him. Like, I want to do that for him because no matter what, especially for men, I feel like men have it hard. Like, even though y'all are thrown out in the world and y'all got to stand on y'all 2 feet, I feel like y'all really get it, and at least I want my baby to know, like, mommy was thinking about you. No matter how you use this money, let me tell you something. Once you spend it up, it's gone. So you better take care of this. Don't be going out there blowing money, telling people what your left hand and right hand is doing. Shut up. Don't do that. I want you to go out here, be smart. Don't be just laying up with people. Don't let nobody use you. I want everybody thinking you broke. I want the girls to think you broke, whatever it is. Don't tell nobody nothing, but I want you to be independent. I want you to handle your business. I want you to go out there and get you a home. If you ain't got no home and you ain't balancing nothing, you shouldn't even be doing nothing. I want him to remember that. So then when he have his own family and I'm gone, or they can't get this type of energy, at least my son know how my heart was running. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like, again, my legacy down in him is to know the seriousness about having your own. Not even just because he's a man, but especially because he's a man. I don't ever want you to be living off nobody, or on the couch, or out here having sex just to make it by. You ain't no trick. And I'm sorry. But I'm sorry. I'm just going in. But I be thinking about these things in the future. He one day might type me up on YouTube and be like, that's my mama. And I want him to understand and know, mommy is doing this for you so you can stand on your 2 feet, have your own place, and kick people out of your stuff. I got an address. I'll let you in if I want to let you in. Yeah, I'll take you on a date, but you can't pull up at my stuff. I want him to be a man that stands 10 toes down, is responsible, know how to save his money, and whatever happens in the future, he already got something to take care of my grandchildren with. Take care of himself first with it. Invest in stock, something. I want him to be smart about this, because truly I feel like money is like having a ring full of keys. It can burn up in a fire. It won't even matter for real after that. But if you have it, it's like having a magical key. So that's one thing I want to that's one thing that runs through my thoughts when it comes to my legacy and what I want to pass down to my child. I want to make sure that my son is able to stand on his feet. I don't ever want to see my son to that point of like, I don't know. Now, let's acknowledge people who may struggle with their family's history or legacies. You know, and from what I see, I just love that I got my laptop. I should have been did this. But okay, so individuals may struggle with their family history and legacies due to difficult or traumatic past events, conflicting family narratives, a lack of information, or a sense of shame or alienation from their heritage. Ooh, my God. I'm sorry. That just took me somewhere in my mind. Like, those with family history of abuse, trauma, or systematic oppression may find it particularly challenging to confront painful legacies, while others may feel lost if their family history is largely unknown. So I'm thinking about like people that are like adopted. People are in the system. Individuals facing traumatic histories, confronting abuse or trauma, family history of abuse, addiction, or violence can be difficult to acknowledge, especially for those who were directly impacted. Okay, so like abuse or trauma. The first thing I was thinking about is excuse me. I heard this on TikTok. That it popped in my head. I heard it on TikTok. Okay, don't come for me, Joe. Don't come for me. But if you did it, you're nasty, Joe. You're nasty, and we're gonna talk about it. But LaToya put you out there, and I'm about to talk about it. But you know, LaToya Jackson was on a talk show back in the 90s, and I happened to be in my rabbit hole on TikTok. I sure was. And I ran across that about how LaToya was talking about how after Ruby left the house, how Joe used to sneak into her bedroom. Yeah. And how Catherine, talking about some not tonight, Joe. Not tonight, Joe? Not tonight? Ooh! I was so overwhelmed. I didn't even know how to feel. I didn't know how to feel. Not tonight. And even in that video, I'm going to put it up this time. Book. I'm going to put it up today because I ain't put it up last time. But about why I want to say Cheryl Teagues. Shout out to Cheryl Teagues. I know that's a person. I just don't know who that is right now. I could look her up. What is that pastor's name? Ugh, I gotta open another tab. Joyce Myers. There we go. I'm like, I can't even type her name. Joyce Myers. Even in her book, where she was getting sexually abused by her father. You know what I'm saying? Like, and her mama left her in that because she was jealous or something like that. It really be people like that. Knowing that their significant other is a pedophile. Or even that one documentary I seen, I can't think of their name. The one that's like, for quite a while. Hey, you on my mind every day and every night. My every thought is you. Yeah, him. Even his daddy. Woo! Y'all gotta see that on Tubi. That messed up my mind, man. Their daddy was not only abusive to their mother. Like, if she saved him, he would beat her. Okay? But he was not only abusing his daughter, but his sons. He was abusing the oldest son, and then would, like, abuse the younger son to the point where the oldest son used to abuse him too. Because then it took off the abuse off of him. You know what I'm saying? Or even with them brothers in California, like, you know, things like that. Like, it's embarrassing to, especially abuse like that. When a family member does something to you, it's embarrassing. And then you want to tell people about it. You want to acknowledge it, but it's difficult because when you acknowledge it, people call you liar. People be like, don't say that. Not knowing that same person that don't want you to say it is getting abused, was getting abused. And they still saving them, still protecting them. Because for some reason, maybe they're doing something for them. They're paying for something. You know? And that's another thing that I feel like you need to acknowledge in your family. You need to tell your kids about the certain abuse that goes on in your family. I don't care who feels some type of way about it. Because you not acknowledging it is going to start a cycle again. And I'd be damned if something happened to my child and I knew that person was effed up. And then how dare I sit there and cry with my child and say, I don't know how they did that to you. You exactly knew why they did that. When they did it, you felt that when you dropped them off over there. I don't take my son around nobody. And if they got something to say, I may make up an excuse. But 9 times out of 10, they know why I don't ever bring my son over there. They know why I would never let you babysit. I would never let you help him change a diaper. No. You want me to say it? Then back. You know why. Go heal yourself. Why? That be blowing me. Why? This is why people don't like me. Because I'm going to put it on the table. That's why. What Cardi and Lotto say, I'm going to put it on the floor. That's why. Keep playing. No, he cannot. Ever. Even when he grown. He gonna know, though. Oh, I'm a snitch. I'm a snitch. I'm going to tell my child what's up. And I do. Okay? I tell him all the time. Don't you ever. And if ever, you tell me. And don't you ever let nobody tell you that, oh, your mama ain't, I will whoop. Woo! Let's get on the next subject because I'm getting hype up in here. But that's all I'm saying. Y'all need to be honest about the trauma and the abuse that possibly is in your family. Because the next thing you know, now that spirit on your child, and now you got a new problem. Because now that spirit is near you. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, no. Let's see what else. Dealing with difficult legacies. People may struggle in their family legacy. People may struggle if their family's legacy is built on bitterness, anger, or actions that have caused harm to others. Now, see, this one is kind of hard because I'm trying to think like, what in your family legacy or history could cause anger, could cause bitterness, could cause actions that harm others. Well, when I think about anger or bitterness, I'm thinking about like maybe situations where the father may have two different families. Like I spoke on this before with you guys about my grandparents, my great grandparents, how when my grandmother was married to my grandfather, when they got married and he decided to be with her and not his ex-wife, you know, a lot of people were angry. A lot of people were bitter about the situation. I don't know if it caused harm or anything, but it did. It did get to a point where his family and then us are kind of like separated. Not separated. We know our cousins on his side and stuff like that. We still, when I was growing up, I remember going to my auntie's house, his sister's house. Sometimes my grandma would drop me off if she had a doctor's appointment or something like that. And they never was mean to me. Like, we was over there singing songs, kicking it with my cousins that were over there too. Like, we kind of got close. I wasn't there all the time. Some holidays maybe. But there were certain people like even when we tried to do. I remember this one year, my aunt, which is their daughter, threw a picnic and a few people came, And I remember one of my cousins like, oh, is so-and-so coming and so-and-so coming, and like, no, I don't think they gonna make it. I don't think they gonna come. Like, I just think it's gonna be, so-and-so and so-and-so. So maybe that anger of them feeling like, well, whatever he had going on with his ex-wife, he should have just been there. I don't know what he had going on with his ex-wife. I really didn't talk too much about it, with him. I knew about it because I heard it through the grapevine in the family, but there was never a discussion between me and him just about like how he knew my grandma and they got together before he went out to war, and when he came back from the war, he wanted to be with her. He wanted to start a family with her, and that's what he did. Like, and here we are again. Like, so it's just like, or like, I don't know. Maybe even dynamics where like, maybe families where the parent is a little bitter. Maybe they didn't expect their life to go a certain way, and they took that anger and that feeling of bitterness out on their kids. Or like this one girl that I listened to on YouTube, she was talking about how her mother kicks everybody out on graduation day. Matter of fact, not even graduation day. On their 18th birthday, you're out. Like, and she was like, she gave us all the countdown. Like, my mother got 6 kids, and each 6 of those kids got kicked out on their 18th birthday. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And she was saying like how she was warning her little brother, and he like, she not gonna do that to me. She was like, he 19 and he lived with me now because he thought we was playing. But like, yeah. And it be situations like that too, where it's just like, you know, some people celebrate when their kids get grown because they like, finally, it's over with. When it's truly not over with. They're still your children. You don't have to take them to school anymore, maybe pay for their lunch money, worry about the responsibilities. But my mom is still dealing with me as a young adult. You know, me being 30, she's still somebody I call on when I'm in trouble. So, I mean, parenting never ends until it ends. And you're gone. But it's like, but the last thing I see is rebuilding broken lives. And that's just acknowledging the struggles of our ancestors who had to repair broken lives can be both validating and emotional. And that just takes me back to my great grandparents. You know, I want to say they were the first generation that were free to not be slaves. So not only my grandmother, but my grandfather moved away from the South and traveled up north, you know, to live a different life, to get different opportunities that they couldn't get from Alabama or Mississippi. They had to go somewhere else to truly build what they wanted to build, you know. And along the way, when they came up north, that's when they met each other. So it's just like, you know, and sometimes those situations do take a toll on you. Like, you know, it take a toll on you when it comes to family, because certain people may not understand it. They truly might just be in the same spot and just let years and years go by, generations and generations go by. Like, shoot, your great granddaddy lived on over here in the hood, so we gonna live in the hood. Okay, but we still doing the same things that traumatized you at 5, traumatized you at 13, traumatized you back in the day. And none of y'all is healed. None of y'all. We still invite over the grandfather that molested my daddy. Because back in the day, somebody felt like it was okay to molest our grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like stuff like that. Like, it's just like, but at the same time, oh, he don't know what he be doing. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, y'all. Like, it just be a lot, man. It be a lot. Individuals lacking information may have hazy memory, unknowing, unnoticed, or unnamed legacies, like unspoken family rules or behaviors that can still shape individuals' lives right now. That one is something. That's deep. Like, individuals' behaviors, like again, this is making me think. So let me just tell y'all this. So, and this can fit anybody's situation, but I know this person, and she was telling me that her grandmother was a light-skinned woman, like my hand, and she gave birth to the person I know's mother, who was a beautiful dark-skinned woman. Okay? Her mom hated her, called her ugly, called her black, called her tar. Okay? She hated her own daughter because of the color of her skin. Okay? Abused her, bullied her, called her names. So by the time her mama grew up, and when she finally had the person I know, what you think she did to her daughter that looked just like her? She bullied her. She called her names. She tore her down. And even still, I notice that when she sees lighter women, she'll say things like, "Oh, she thinks she pretty. She thinks she's so pretty. You know that pretty girl over there? She thinks she's so pretty. She thinks she's so cute." You don't even know if that girl thinks she cute. She might be really insecure. Why would she be insecure when she light skinned? Because she might have insecurities. But yours is shining out right now. And a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot of, because I done met some dark skinned women that know they beautiful. They don't care what the next chick look like. If she dark, white, whatever. She don't care. You call her every name in the book. She knows she fine. Because whomever raised her up made her realize your skin is beautiful. Your skin is beautiful. That dark skinned man, your skin is beautiful. Blacker the berry, sweeter than juice. Hello? So like, I'm just saying, like, it be things like that where some people were taught that and they feel like lighter or white is, on a pedestal. You're better than me. This person can be lying to them in their face. They're going to believe it because in their mind, they already just know light is right or something, And it may not be like that, but sometimes it be like that. Sometimes, my aunt used to talk about that. How the men used to go after the light-skinned women because they felt like they were beautiful. Some men thought they were easier, to deal with or whatever. Whatever. That's something. That's what it made me think of. Or the next one says emotional distance, a lack of connection to one's past due to a void of information or a feeling of being an outsider can lead to struggles with identity and belonging. So not knowing certain information, that brings me back to being adopted or keeping secrets. Like, I heard situations where, those situations where grandma or auntie's taking care of this child, but this child don't know that her big sister is really her mama. And every time she try to get close to her sister, she just turns her down. Ma, can you come get her? Can you come get her? I do not have time for this. And then now y'all just don't mess with each other. My big sister never cared about me. She never loved me. She always would do this and do that. That's your mama. That's your mama. She was honored to keep that secret because she didn't want to take care of you. And she don't want to tell you who her daddy is because she thought your daddy was the one. Till he moved to West Virginia, California, whatever, up and left me with you. And now since I'm pissed at him, I'm pissed at you. Situations be like that. I know it's heartbreaking, but I'm trying to let y'all feel this. Like, or struggles of identity and belonging. Or even like situations where struggles of identity and belonging. That might even be like situations where maybe you got a person in your family that may be gay, you know, and people are making them feel like an outsider, not really understanding their choice, you know, struggling to understand why they're moving the way they do and why, you know, what happened to make you like this, you know. You never know. Maybe something happened or maybe that's just what they are. I don't know. But it is something that can be a struggle of identity, a struggle of feeling like you have nobody, and that's why a lot of them end up hurting themselves. Sometimes you gotta ask yourself, is it worth all of that? Like, is it worth it? I don't think it's worth it, especially something so, I don't know. But I just feel like I'm not saying that, you know, people are always going to see eye to eye in that situation, but it's never worth that person feeling like they have to harm themselves or get rid of themselves or feel like they don't belong because of another person's perspective, you know. Just tell them, like, you know, whatever, I still love you. I just don't want to know about that. I don't want to talk about it. Don't talk about it with me, you know. Or keep that on the low, or you know what I'm saying. But I'm happy that you expressed yourself. You know, I still love you, but just, I don't want to hear about it. Flat out, okay. Individuals who may feel shame or alienated, conflicting values. When an individual's values or beliefs clash with those of their family history, they may feel a sense of shame or alienation from their heritage. That makes me think of like those families that are from different countries and they don't teach their children the language or the culture. You know what I'm saying? They just like, well, we live in America now. Like, it doesn't matter. It matters. It matters. Like, that stuff matters. America's trying to make us feel like it doesn't matter by burning our books and lying to the children of this generation like it doesn't matter. But it definitely matters. You need to understand certain things about your past so you can know how to move in your future. You got to understand, like, my son got to understand why this, one day if he goes into a white establishment and this person just grabbed your application, balled it up, and said, Kobe, now get out my shop. He need to understand why that person acting like that towards him. And he truly needs to understand, like, that guy is racist. He does not want you working there because he probably does not like you because you're black. And he needs to understand, like, why doesn't he like me because I'm black? That's his own feelings. Whatever. I don't know why he particularly does not like you. But you don't need to be in there anyways, because he's either going to play with your pay, he ain't going to give you the hours that you deserve, you know, it's going to always just be a problem. It's not a safe environment where you need to be making your money and feel comfortable to go there every day. That may not even be a city that you need to go to. My son need to understand what a sundown town is, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, these people still exist, even though, you know, we was talking about these stories in our textbooks, and it's just like, it sound like it's far away, but as we see every day, it's not as far as we think it is. He need to know the story of Emmett Till and stay clear of people and certain situations. He needs to understand his history so he can know how to walk in his future. You know, I think it's cool that Hispanic people still know how to talk to each other in their language. They can communicate. They can make business deals. They don't have to, oh, let me text him real quick. Yeah, let me walk out. No. That's why black people kind of do need to learn their heritage and their language so we can do that too. Every culture in this world got their own language. And that's why they're so successful, because they see eye to eye. They know exactly what they're saying to each other and whatever. They can do that. But since we also speak the same language as the next person, because all we know is English, we don't know our other language. We don't even know where we can trace back to learn a language, you know. So I think that's very important. Struggles with culture identity, individuals may find it hard to connect with family legacy if it represents a history that also that is also a source of personal pain, like legacy of a colonizing or oppressed group. I don't know. I with that one, I'm really just like, it's the oppressive group, which I'm thinking about, like maybe a to be oppressed obviously is to be like held down. And I'm just thinking like those are mostly people that's in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like that don't have much, that don't have that many resources. And some people may be ashamed of that. Somebody told me before how they are ashamed of living in the hood, which is understandable because, again, it's not that many resources in certain neighborhoods. You know, that that group of people that are in those situations, those places, only have what they have. I know, and I met people that only said they've been to Cleveland, and not even like all of Cleveland. Like I'm talking about like maybe in their neighborhood because they can walk there. Like I met people that has never been downtown. Maybe seen downtown on TV, but they never just wow. So that's Tower City. Yeah. You ain't never been down here? Nah. Nah, I be over there. That's where I be. That's all I know. So it is kind of like when I brought my brother's friend to the city to do an interview with him. You know what I'm saying? Like when we was driving in the car, he was just looking out the window, and I remember him saying like, "Dang, I ain't never been out the city, man. This about to be crazy. I ain't never been out the city." You know, and I just, it put a smile on my face because I was happy to be there in that moment twice. You know what I'm saying? With them, bringing them into the city, but also bringing him into the city and hearing that. And them actually like getting out of that familiar place that they done built probably their own cycles and whatever. And like, I don't know, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to do things like that for people because people need to understand it's more out here than what you used to. Okay, so let's get out of that and let's talk about things that we can do, you know, different tips to kind of bring confidence back into those struggling areas about your family and your family history and the legacy that you want to build. And the first thing is, you know, whomever, because there's always somebody in your family. There is always somebody in your family that knows everything, that's seen everything, that watched everything, that knows the uncle that's no longer here, but know his story. Like, interview people in your family and ask them about certain people, certain history. You know, why does so and so and her mother not get along with each other? Oh, well, she acting just like her mama. Her mama did that to her too. I'm so mad at her, and especially when she looked like her and she believes her. Like, you were supposed to be here to teach that little girl what you should have been taught as a little girl, but you couldn't do that because you still angry, you still bitter about how your mama treated you when you should have just told your mama, like, I am your daughter. like, or something. And people in your family can help you realize what's going on and trace back to the real problem of everything. Like, they may not, you know, they may not be healed yet from it, but it be people that know. People know the tea. Okay. Another thing that I did, which was so cool, is going on ancestry.com. I went on ancestry.com and I traced back to my great grandmother's great like 15 generations back grandfather. I was like, dang, okay. Or maybe he was my 15th grandfather. I don't know, but I'm like, dang, like our history all the way back to there. But it taught me things, and it also taught me that I know some people that's related to me. That's a whole nother story, but it takes you there. Even the portal. I know some people that got into that portal and found people that they are related to in that portal that they know, and even people that they finding out about. So that's another way. That's another way. Go ahead, get in the portal, take that little time, pray that they don't do nothing with your saliva. But I think that would be beneficial, especially for people that don't know their history. I feel like that's a perfect way to go about it. And from there, build your family tree. And even for those people that have to navigate through sensitive topics, clarify your intentions when you bring it up. Okay, it says right here, frame your work around understanding and preserving the truth, not blaming and not shaming. Okay? Like this one girl I knew, she told me that her uncle violated her for years. And when he finally died, she just looked at him in his casket and didn't even cry. She was like, I'm happy he was gone. But my thing is, it's just like, it sounds crazy. But I don't know. Maybe even somebody in her family that got abused by him before her may know the story. And sometimes in those situations, you gonna know who it is, because they not gonna cry either. They may be in the back. They may not have even came and ask them. But you do gotta be very sensitive about it. Because especially if somebody got abused before you got abused, they not gonna talk about it. They don't want to relive that. They don't want to see it. They don't want to hear it. They probably still live through that. And then right here it says, be selective about the information that you share. Decide what's essential and what's too painful. And listen and set boundaries. Welcome input from relatives, but remember, your perspective matters too. Because some people might be like, he ain't do that to you. That's my brother. Your brother was a pedophile. I'm sorry. Your brother was a pedophile. Okay? But don't be just saying that to people. Just like, if Susie don't believe that her brother was just a nasty MFer, then Susie can believe that. Okay? Sometimes you just gotta let people... But sometimes people be talking, because even though she over here standing up for her brother, believing it and whatever, she might slip up and say like, whatever, sometimes we used to play dress up and, and he would play Barbies with me and I would change into my clothes while he in the room. And then what else happened? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Some people don't even be knowing they get abused. But deep down inside, they knew something wasn't right. They knew something wasn't right. That every time I got out the shower, he wanted to always come in and have a conversation with me. Get the F out my room. Like, what is going on here? Mom! Like, hello, somebody. Or situations with parents, significant others. You know what I'm saying? Mothers not believing their daughters or their sons. Like this one time, my coworker told me that her neighbor and her dude was getting into it. Trigger warning, it's gonna get nasty. And he talking about something. That's why your son do me better than you. Excuse me? It's just things like that. Like, and she's still with this dude. Let's put that out there. And things like that be real. And y'all just can't be having anybody around y'all kids. Especially when they say nasty things like that. You gotta let things go. Okay? Like my great grandmother, I think about her past a little bit sometimes. And when I look at or think about my grandma, I never would have thought the things she went through in her past would have made her the strong woman that she was. She was so strong, like, because I met my grandma. I came into their life when I was when she was 70, in her 70s. She'd already lived a good amount of life, And I thought it was just her and my grandpa, learning that that wasn't the story. My grandmother had a husband before my grandfather, and he was abusive to her. I heard about what happened and how she got away and the divorce and stuff like that. Luckily, she didn't have no children from him, from what I know. But all I know is that the pain she went through is kind of similar to the pain I also endured in my life. And that's how I know, like, everything's gonna be all right. Because I finally understand why she was on us, especially me as her granddaughter, and how she felt about the guys I brought around her. And she just, I always used to think like she was being mean, but she may have seen something that she already seen in her life already. And she would have no problem saying, if they tried to help, don't touch me. You can do better. She'll give me that look, like, after a while, she'd be like, girl, you can do better than this. Where you find him at? Like, I don't know, Grandma. Real quick before we get into our viewer question of the week, let's summarize the importance of recognizing and shaping your legacy, which I see is it's important because it provides purpose and guides your actions to a positive, lasting impact beyond your own life, influencing others through the values, wisdom, and actions you impart. Of course, it gives directions and aligns your values. It shapes the future generation and inspires others, and extends influence, builds lasting impacts, and focuses more than just finances, but it also focuses on like who those people in the next generation are going to be. Like, if you, like, for example, I was just watching a lady that was talking about if her daughter was ever caught, like them kids out in Chicago jumping them kids and they mama, that she will learn that day who her mama is. And the same thing goes here. We ain't gonna talk about them kids. But all I'm gonna say is, like, that's out of pocket. It's not funny. And it's more than, like, we gotta chill on that. Because I have never been in life where harming an adult crossed my mind without me knowing that my was gonna get handed to me. And for the fact of, like, respect your elders. No matter how old they are, if they older than you need to respect your elders. All that talk, even people grown now, and then the kids following behind that. I ain't gotta respect no old lady. I ain't gotta respect his old butt. Whatever. He talk crazy to me, I'ma talk crazy to him. Bruh, this dude didn't have more life than you. You think he's shutting it down, talking crazy and all this other stuff. He's trying to tell you something and not water it down because you grown. Not even grown, but you older than that. You should know better. I shouldn't have to threaten you with a belt. I shouldn't have to lie to you. I shouldn't have to worry with you so you can understand what I'm saying. No, grow up. Grow up. Y'all kids don't even realize who y'all talking to. You know what I mean? Like, these the adults that raised us, and we hardly be tolerating the bull. You know, some people, either they don't care or they just like, I don't want to whoop my kids because, you know, back in the day, it was just too much. Okay, that may be something, but at the end of the day, whooping and discipline is two different things. Now, some people do get emotional. Like, the things I used to hear, my mom used to whoop me with extension cord or this or that. Grab something and just beat my with it. Like, dang. No, it wasn't that deep. Nah, that's a whole nother story, you know. But if you needed to be disciplined, yeah, I'm about to discipline you. We about to get into it. Like, when I discipline my son, he be like, you be mean. No, because I'm not your little friend right now. You need to hear what I'm saying to you and keep it in that brain. So when you think about doing it again, you know what's up. And that's just flat out. But these kids think we playing. They think that life is about Gucci, Louis, and YSL and whatever they think. I don't even know what y'all be on. I don't care. Because either way it goes, that ain't gonna do nothing for you. Because when you finally meet somebody that's ready to meet you, you gonna finally understand. Then that's when you gonna be crying. Why would they talk to me? Because that mouth is nasty. That attitude is nasty. Where your parents at? And then when you meet the parents, y'all nasty. Where your mama at? She need to get smacked. She should have put some hands on you, disciplined you, should have got you together. So that's what I'm just saying. Like, it's just like, whatever you instill in your kids right now, they gonna make your grandchildren be 10 times that. You think you got a headache now? Wait till you see your future. Boy, I tell you. Your kids gonna be like, help me, Mom. Ain't no helping that child that you birthed. I should have been on your ass when I raised you. Now look at you. Keep dropping her off to me. Hardly want to be home and be a mama. How you out here having all these babies that want to be a mama? Come on, I seen a video of this girl talking about my new man don't like kids. He don't want no kids. So here, Mom, I'm about to go live my life and be happy. Girl, you done had 3 of them kids. Shut up and sit down and tell that man you with, he can take his old butt somewhere else. Because you going to be somewhere struggling and wishing that you could have made amends with your children. They ain't going to want to talk to you. They not going to want to talk to you. Talk to you about what? About how you chose a dude over them? They ain't going to want to hear that. You already did it. And their heart was hurt. You should have thought about that when you was about to put yourself in that car and drive away. Now you want to think about it 20 years later when you go, hey, kids. Hey, Darlene. Dang, I'm your mama. Don't be calling me Darlene. You are mama? I mean, I know I ain't been there. Come on, y'all. We gotta be serious. Y'all just feel like y'all making people like this the game of Sims or something. Like, no. Shoot. Even on the game of Sims, your sim tells you, like, I don't feel like doing that. They eventually get sick of you. That's my game. And then I'll be knowing, like, Sims. Sometimes my Sims used to get, they like, okay, you got me cleaning up the house and going here and going there. But girl, I am hungry. I am hungry. Feed me. Like, come on. Y'all gotta really understand, like, y'all didn't play the game of life growing up. Viewer question of the week. How has your family legacy influenced who you are today? And what I wrote is, they showed me that I am loved, thought of, and continued, and to continue for those in the future to help even when I'm not here. And like I said, like, that motivation, like, it's like that right there that I'm saying, it's in my mother, it's in my uncles, it's in my pop. It was in my grandfather, it was in my grandmother, it was in my aunt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when my best friend got kicked out of her house. We was scared. I didn't know where she was talking about she about to sleep in her car. I'm like, I know a place that's going to let you stay there. But you got to be ready. They not going to be on no BS with you. You going to have to go to work. You going to have to do what you got to do. But I know a place where you going to have a hot shower, a meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You going to be good. And where I took her to my auntie's house. And she stayed there for a good 3 months till she got on her feet. You know what I'm saying? My auntie said, yes, we made a key at Home Depot. She was right in there. And her showing my friend that love, even when I was nervous and scared, like, oh my God, I felt like I'm going to be putting too much on him, is exactly why I'm the way I am. When I brought my brother and my sister down here, I was going through it, y'all. That was the moment of my life where I was done chasing material things because I was helping my brother and my sister out. It was more important for them to get a taste of a good life. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm in my city. I could go stay with my family. You know what I'm saying? They could stay with my family too. But it was a lot. But eventually, God helped us. God placed them where they needed to be. And, you know, things just happen how they happen. But that time of my life, like, especially when I had my sister, my brother got here first. He was good. He ended up getting on his feet eventually. But when I brought my sister down here, that was the challenge. That was the moment where I was sleeping in my car spring through summer with my sister, taking overnight jobs so we had a place to sleep. I remember I was working security. I used to have to come to find out I was in the wrong place. I was supposed to be across the street. But regardless, still was getting paid. And we used to put up my phone and she'll have her phone. We'll watch a movie. Used to have covers in my back seat. You know what I'm saying? We was out here grinding. Living life, trying to help, trying to make sure she was good. You know what I'm saying? So we could have got apartments together and whatever else. You know what I'm saying? I put my life on the line. I argue, man, I can't even get deep into it with y'all. I sacrificed a lot that year. And I don't regret it because it taught me something through it all. You know, when winter was about to hit, it taught me how to grind so I could get my first apartment. You know, and ever since then, can't stop, won't stop. But one thing that put it in my heart to do it is because I seen that all my life through my family. Friends of our family, family, period, we always welcome them into our home. We gave them a time limit, yes, of course. But eventually, yes, you're going to have to get on your feet. You got 3 months to get on your feet. You got 3 months to stack up some bread, something. We are those type of people that's going to help you. But we going to be on you. We stern, but we're kind people. Like, we going to be on you. But yeah. You want some dinner? You want something to eat? Yeah. Oh, you need this? Pop, you know how to do this? Yeah, tell them I'll be over there today. Oh, you got an extra place for so-and-so to rent out? Yeah, I got something over there. That's cool for them. It's a little but it's affordable. Yeah, we them type of people. Because that's the people that I keep telling y'all about, my grandparents, that's who they were. And maybe that's how they were treated when they was coming up. But they instilled that in us to remember your family. When you get, my grandma told me before she died, because we go to our reunion about to come up. Taylor, I don't care who lack. You keep them reunions going. You keep our family together so those kids can know who their family is. You do right so you don't have to struggle when you finally have a kid. You put up something or invest in something so that once it's time for the next generation to have it, it's already an experience. So then when they finally get what they want, I got this. If something ever happened, I got this. That's what my family has taught me. And I have a big family. But that one right there and the legacy that they left for us is what we carry on to right now. And we all understand. That's why I feel like I'm a workaholic now. But we all know the power of work. And we all know that the work ain't done yet. For real. The work ain't done. We still got to go out here and get it. And not because we're lacking, but at the end of the day, my son watching me. Of course, sometimes he'll come into my room and talk about, I don't feel like it. I ain't feel like getting up at 6 in the morning every day of my life either. But now it's like clockwork. I can't lay in my bed past 10 o'clock. I can't lay in my bed for real past 8. Feel like I'm not doing nothing. It's a blessing and a curse. So that's the show. That's the show, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoy being in my room with me, yes. But y'all, I'm so excited. This is gonna be the vibe right now. I'm looking at my background. I kind of want to decorate my room more. You know, I got one curtain up. I gotta get this one up because I mainly got it up because it's getting cold out here, guys, and I've been lazy. I gotta put some plastic on there, but y'all know what I'm saying. Yeah, I really gotta love my room a little more, cause like I said, I always be working, and I've been wanting to be in my room and stuff like that, but yeah, I gotta get into it more, guys. I got to. But of course, let me shout out my viewers. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like always, I love you. 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 You know, and if anybody needs to hear this word, you better get them hip to some soul food, okay? Get them hip, because it's piping hot, okay? Tell them about your girl. How we talking about some real conversations right here, and how I'm about to just give it to y'all, keep it straight with y'all, you know what I mean? And of course, you know, please, tap on the links in the description box, okay? Tap on the links. There's plenty of things for you guys to explore, and definitely tap into the new group that I created called Soul Food Society. And It just rang the bells to me. So yes, that's the new group. That's my new community that I want to get together. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you right now, no foolishness in the group, okay? Cause we ain't got time for none of that. If you dare to troll, take your butt back to the bridge, okay? Cause we ain't got time for it. But if you want to go there, talk, be a part of the community, come on, tap in. So definitely click the links in the description box, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, okay, honey? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And one new thing that I do want to start closing the shows out with is a nice quote. And the quote that I have today is, your legacy is not what you leave for people, but what you leave in people. I like that. I said I like that. Okay. I like that. That was awesome. One more time. Your legacy is not what you leave for people. So that land and all that stuff, that ain't even the cherry on top of the cake. It's what I leave in them. Manners, values, principles. What you instill in your family is more important than the material that you leave for them. Helpful, but it ain't nothing like what you putting in that little heart every day. You can leave them millions and they'll go blow it. Just like Biggie's daughter. Gave all that money to her dude. And he left that for you. For you. And you, like you ain't Biggie's daughter. Oh my God, I was so mad when I seen that. They that money. Her daddy, love it when you call me Big Papa. You was in there calling him Big Papa and giving him your daddy's money. Oh my God. It all depends on what you leave in your people. Because I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that, bro. I can't. That's why you gotta be careful who you surround yourself with. But yes, so we tapping out of here, guys. I'll see you guys next week. I love you guys.